Okay, well, if you watched the Tyler Perry show, Sistas After Show Edition last night, this is pretty much my video going over my thoughts on it. But just to give you a couple of pieces of insight. Number one, you already know, because I've said this a few times before, Dish Network is how I stream this show on my computer when I watch it live. Sometimes it lags. So, for example, I did not finish last night's episode of Sisters until 10:06. So basically, by the time I finished the episode and the stream just stopped and then flipped over to the after show, they were almost 10 minutes into the show. So whatever happened during the first 7 to 8 minutes of the show, I missed it. I assume they just simply introduced the cast and probably said, hey, what about that finale? So if they said anything of importance that I might have missed, my bad. I will try to see if I can find it online, or maybe they'll upload it to BET.com or something so I can rewatch it, or at least the certain parts of it I missed. But I might do a part two. Let me just put it that way. But I just really want to give my just my overall thoughts. I enjoyed it for what it was, but this, and like I said, I enjoyed it. I love the cast stories, but this really felt more like, well, it's called the Tyler Perry show for a reason, because there's just something about the way it was kind of handled. Like whenever the women kind of spoke on what they felt their character's journey should be, or what they would like to see for the character. Hell, there was even a part where Tyler was like, well, hey, where would you like to tell me, where would you like your characters to go? And I felt KJ, Ebony, and Novi, aka Andy, Karen, and Sabrina, they really gave heartfelt answers. They really spoke up, because and this was my interpretation, when the cast spoke up and said or answered the question Tyler Perry asked them, it really showed me that the cast are they're pretty much as sick of their characters as we are. Why is Sabrina still second guessing Calvin? Does she want him or not? Leave that man alone. Karen I felt so bad for Ebony. I really did. And I don't want to make this video messy by going all over the place, but there was a moment where I think this was the part when my stream cut to the after show, when I think Tyler had asked the cast, say, okay, since season 3 is over, how about you tell all of us what your favorite part of the season was for your character? And, everybody kind of said what they said. And, Danny was like, ooh, Mignon was like, ooh, club eating. Everybody cheered. I forgot what certain things for some of the characters were, because I'm sorry, I was so hung up on, oh no, I know what part I chimed in on. That was when they were talking about the bank, when Jacoby knocked out Calvin. It's like, he said spin around or something like that. So, when they got to Ebony, and like I said, everybody who spoke about what they felt was their favorite moment, everybody was cheering, yeah, I loved it. When Ebony said, because she's like, let me go last. And when she said what she said, she was like, it was Karen finding or discovering the kind of relationship she wanted for herself. It felt like, and this is no shade to Ebony, please do not take it that way. It's like, it felt like she was really reaching to find something she liked. But notice that when she said that, you could hear crickets, because nobody in the audience, I didn't hear a yeah or a cheer. I didn't even hear one person clap their hands, because season 3, in my opinion, and I've said it plenty of times throughout the season so far, the worst season of the show. Karen had no growth whatsoever. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you bring. Look, I will say this. If you bring to me evidence, and I will okay, you know what? I think you're right. But from what I can tell, and I've watched every episode and reviewed it, Karen, the first half of the season, she was bitter because I can't believe he didn't say my name. Basically, Fatima was apologetic. Look, Karen, I didn't know you and Zach were together. He never brought you up or anything like that. And then after that, her just basically using Aaron as a stepping stool, because she was butthurt about the whole situation on Karen. Zach. Then the mid-season finale, it's like, okay, we're finally going to do something with Karen. It's like her and Zach have a clean break. Yeah, she's going through something with her salon, so maybe this will mean the back half of the season we're going to see Karen kind of kind of move on. She's put the Zach thing in the past, and she's going to determine whether or not she wants to be with Aaron while trying to save her business. But no, the entire back half of the season, here she is just making a complete 180 where she's like bugging Zach and needing to see him and needing to talk and needing to get closure. She was a nag the entire season. And then even before that, was the whole, you know what? Yeah, Karen isn't a real friend because she should have stayed by Andy's side at the wedding, even though I agree she did not have to stay. Karen had zero growth. The only growth we're going to see from Karen is that baby bump if she is pregnant. I'm sorry, but Karen was an awful character this season. And I hate to see it because I've said it before. Tyler seems to be assassinating this character just to uplift Zatima. Now, maybe I missed it, but I didn't really hear Crystal talk that much. Like Fatima, I really didn't think that she had much to say. I don't know if she was asked a lot of questions, but I don't think we got a lot of Crystal in the after show. Again, like I said, maybe she spoke a lot during the portion I missed, but I don't think we really heard much from her. Again, I could be wrong, but from what I heard, I didn't really hear much of anything. But when going back to when the women spoke about the things they wanted, like, I want Novi was like, I want Sabrina to even date, even if it's just different guys, to have her find who she really wants. Ebony wanted Karen to reflect and find the relationship that's best for her. And KJ was saying, Andy, I want her to find what's best for her, even if it's not even with a man. When I'm not saying lesbian or anything, but even if she doesn't have a relationship with anyone, have Andy have a relationship with her so she can heal, so she'll be ready for her true love. And anytime, even Mignon at one point was trying, poor Mignon, look, I've mentioned this in my TV line article breakdowns. Mignon, you cannot come up, and this isn't even her fault in my opinion, it's really about how Tyler wrote the character of Danny. You can't defend Danny. There is no way you can reasonably defend Danny and her actions towards Preston, because he broke into her house. Technically he did not. The landlady was the one who let Preston in her house twice, so that's on her, not Preston. And then it's like he's emotionally absent and everything. Mignon. And I will admit, Tyler did say the same thing I've been saying. Are we watching the same show? Okay, I take it you don't want Preston. Fine, we'll have to fire Trinity. No, don't fire him. But yeah, anytime the women brought up grievances with their characters, and it's not even that they're complaining. Look, and I've said it 8 times already. I think it was like either when Mignon was talking or when Ebony was talking, Tyler was like, hey, let's go around the room. I think he was talking with Ebony. He's like, wait, are you trying to give a hint to the writer's room? Because Karen was literally trying to talk about how Ebony was saying what she really wanted for her character of Karen. So then Tyler's like, wait, are you trying to wink, nudge to the writer's room? And Tyler raised his hand because remember, he is the writer's room for the Sistas. So he went around. He's like, okay, let's talk, everybody. Let me know what you want for your character. And that's when it goes back to Andy, Sabrina, Karen getting growth and whatnot, and Tyler's like, y'all trying to get people fired. That just let me know right there, this his show. It is number one, but I feel like the only way to make change is to not watch it. But look, it's the number one show on this channel too, so I really can't do it. So it's just that, what's the point of asking people what they want? Because I feel like, and again, I don't even feel like they were being disrespectful. I felt like Ebony was just speaking what she felt, because I feel so bad for her character and the actress, especially because I feel like she's being shit on just to build up Zatima, the Zach and Fatima relationship. Because seasons 1 and 2, yeah, Karen had a mouth on her. Karen was hard-headed and stubborn, but she was definitely the toughest one of the group. Basically, the tough love sister of the group. But at least she had character. Season 3, I felt that character was assassinated just to build up Zach and Fatima's relationship. So when she kind of spoke up about what she felt about her character, and then Tyler's like, okay, is anybody else? And then it's like KJ's like, well, hey, now that you mention it, and Sabrina's like, well, yeah, well, I know I want Sabrina to be, and then no, y'all trying to get people fired, meaning that we're going to have Gary, Calvin, Preston, Aaron. We're going to have all these characters for a long time. Oh, and here's when I really felt bad. When the men came out and Kevin, aka Aaron, he was talking about, his character. I think this was a portion. It's like, let's talk about sex. And then, they pretty much explained, and they talked about this on the haves and the have-nots too, about how the men wear I forgot what they called it. It's like a thong or something where you're not really fully naked whenever you're doing those sex scenes. But essentially, when Aaron and Ebony were talking, it was the whole thing about, I think Ebony was like, well, Aaron, no, we really don't know him that well. There's a lot of things about his past we don't know. And Kevin was like, yeah, it would be great to have more backstory about Aaron. Tyler literally sat out there and said, well, this show is called Sistas, not Brothers, so, it's all about the women. It's like, Tyler Perry, we just saw the season 3 finale. You spent a good 7 to 10 minutes giving us backstory on Maurice and his father. We don't even need a full episode about this. Sometimes just little conversations can give us a lot about the character. Guys, if you've been watching me in this channel, I live for that stuff. I'd much rather spend 5 minutes learning about a character's past than spending 42 minutes of the characters regurgitating dialogue to each other. Or repeating dialogue or the same lines over and over again. Tyler, look, again, when the people told their stories, like in part 1, when Mignon's like, I was living with my mom, and then I got the call to be Danny on Sisters. Novi was like, look, I went through a dry spell of no roles in any movies or shows for a long time, and I took this cruise just to get my mind off things because I felt like I was at a dead end and I might have to quit acting. But then I got the role of Sabrina, and then in this special, I think the real like rags to riches story was truly Brian Maurice, who was talking about how I auditioned and I came in a wrecked car. It was like held together with shoestrings and oil dripping and everywhere. And then I got the role of Maurice, and I'm able to travel now, work on other projects. And, the fact that I have this role, I'm in a new car. I was able to get a new car. So Tyler, and I've said this 1,000 times, I'm never going to knock the man for his ability to give chances to those who really never had the chance in Hollywood, or maybe Hollywood never looked at him, or directors never gave him the chance that Tyler Perry did. I mean, even Trinity, I loved his story where he's from North Carolina. He was an extra on the set of Nobody's Fool. Now I feel like I need to rewatch that movie just so I can pinpoint where he was in a scene. And he came up to Tyler and said, hey, I'm from North Carolina, and it's my dream to act and everything. And that accent is what Tyler kept in mind when he wrote the script to Preston. Hey, let me get that guy. So I just love the way he's doing this for people. But I'm sorry, but just because you give these people chances, if you don't give them strong, I know they probably don't have any complaints because, look, they aren't the main characters on the show. They are on a #1 series. They are, and I don't know their actors rate, and it's not my business to know, but I'm pretty sure they're paid well, given the fact that most of them are like, yeah, I got a house now, I'm able to help my family, I'm able to do this and that. But as a consumer, I don't feel like I'm getting, the show doesn't really seem to be warranted of the #1 status. Because, I mean, somebody put out a tweet, and let me see if I can find it, because I took a screenshot. And this is awful. Okay, somebody's like, hang on one moment. Am I the only one that only cares about Zach and Fatima's storyline on Sisters? This tweet has almost 600 likes, over 120 retweets. That just lets you know right there, he's not going to freshen up the story. Like, if Zach and Fatima literally left the show, but they aren't, Crystal said in the article I did the video on yesterday, the TV line article, Zach and Fatima are going to be in season 4. Hell, we even see him in the promo. If Zach and Fatima left the show, Sisters would fall. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a fan of Danny, Andy, Karen, whoever. And I'm not saying people wouldn't watch the show, but bet money Sisters would no longer be #1. Look me dead in the eye, or better yet, DM me or tweet me. Tell me 5 reasons why you think Sistas would survive if Zach and Fatima left. I'm waiting. Let me know in the comments. Like, tell me 5 pieces of evidence, or at least 3. Give me 2 reasons why you think the show would survive if those 2 left. Tyler Perry needs to refresh these storylines. He needs to either reboot them. He needs to put in new characters. I'm sorry, I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but you have like 1,000 different projects, movies, shows. You probably got plays that are, I mean, Tyler did say at one point he wants to build a theater on his studio lot to do plays and whatnot. And you have so many projects. You can put Cheeto in another project. You could put Kevin in another project. You could put Trinity. You could put Brian. You don't have Anthony. You do not have to have the same characters the entire show, because it makes the main characters look awful. Like when Andy's like, well, KJ was like, Andy, I love that she's doing things for herself, threesome all. You can't justify that just because your quote unquote boyfriend / fiance pisses you off. How the hell does that justify you going out to have a threesome and then, or going out to have sex with somebody, but then you stop midway to say, oh, I love my fiance? How does that make sense? Huh? How does that make sense? I mean, even there was a point in the conversation where Tyler asked the audience, kind of giving your feedback. Oh, what are your predictions for season 4? Oh, Karen's not pregnant. Is it Aaron's baby or something like that? He even says, so what do y'all think about Gary and Andy? Do you think they're going to end up together? No, boo. Do you think Sabrina's going to end up with Calvin? No, leave him alone, boo. The audience was booing. But Tyler don't give a shit. He's going to keep Calvin around. He's going to keep Gary around. It really makes you wonder. Like I said, be bold, Tyler Perry. Write out Zach and Fatima during the mid-season of season 4. Let's say season 4 is their swan song, or better yet, maybe even the episode prior to the mid-season is the official backdoor pilot, and then the mid-season finale is them moving into their house together, and then they aren't in the rest of the season. Tell me that Sistas would not fall from the number 1 spot. You have 4 main characters. I don't count Fatima. I know she's in the opening, but Fatima's not a sister. Her and Zach got their own thing going on. So when your cast is literally pleading with you to give their characters something, I mean, even Mignon, even though I don't agree with her trying to defend Danny, she did say, well, that's the thing. We don't see things from Danny's side. I agree. It's just that the fact that everything we've seen in Sistas so far makes Danny look to be awful. I just don't know what to say. And look, I know this is one of those things where I feel like people will be, Jeremy, this is why you'll never work at Tyler Perry Studios, and I can understand that. But like I said, I'm not affiliated with them. I love these shows. I wouldn't talk about them if I didn't love them, but I'm just talking as a person who watches the shows as a fan. But when enough people are saying the same thing, it's something that should be listened to. Now, based on recent things like, Tyler on Twitter during the episodes, and even in, and I could be wrong, but I think this was filmed before the Hollywood Reporter article where he talked about how he's getting new writers and directors on different shows. He definitely needs it for Sistas. Fine. If you want to keep Preston, Calvin, Gary, Aaron around, you need to spice up their stories. Look, I get it. People are hyped up. Oh yeah, Fatima beat up Hayden, and her and Zach, Zach had his come up. All that's well and good, but that, in my opinion, is not enough to save season 3 from being the worst season ever. It's not. It's really not. And I will be doing a video giving my overall thoughts on season 3 / ranking the 3 seasons. Don't worry, I still have Sistas content that I'm eager to do between now and January 5th, right? The 5th. But for me, even though and I recorded my promo breakdown, the minute-long promo for season 4. I recorded that before doing this. The promo looks amazing. It really gives me haves and have-not vibes. But when I broke it down, I'm like, okay, even though this looks great, why does it feel like it's just more of the same? Season 4 is going to come. And like I said, if Fatima and Zach are written out of the show and Sistas has a season 5, it better be the final season. Because I do not think Sistas, the way that it's being handled now, without Zach and Fatima, will survive. When people literally say, the only reason I watch the show for Zach and Fatima, that lets you know you kind of need to do a U-Haul. You need to do a overhaul on these characters. Because how long are we going to see them do the same thing over and over? The cast literally told you what they wanted after you asked, but then you literally rebutted, oh yeah, well, you're going to get people fired then. So you literally are putting Trinity being fired, Anthony being fired, Cheeto being fired. You're literally putting that on the ladies because they want more from their characters. I want Andy to find love. I want Sabrina to date other people. I want I want Karen to find happiness and true love. So Tyler's literally saying, well, ladies, if I give you that, then that means these actors are going to be fired. I don't think I want to work in an environment like that. Look, I get it though. I get it. It's like, Jeremy, if you were on set and you saw how much you were making, it would be like Smokey from Friday. It's like Tyler Perry would be like, you better shut up and act. I'll be quiet, but when he leave, I'll be talking again. No, but for real though, it's like I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, I did like it though. I love to see the men on stage. Too bad. What do you say? Calvin couldn't be there due to a family emergency. Zach Duvall was working on another project, so they weren't there. But you know, the men were barely on stage as it was. I'm glad they were there when they were. I feel like we got enough from them, but I would have liked it if we would have had. I do feel like Tyler, he should have filmed a lot and then have that air during the hiatus. For example, when it's just Tyler on stage with, let's say, Mignon and Trinity, you know, he could have like separate segments where he's talking with different casts together in relation to how they are. Like on the Tyler Perry show on OWN, when he did like the haves and the have-nots, he would have a moment where he would have all the cast together, but then he'd have a moment where it's just the women, or it's just a moment with John Snyder and Tinka Sumner. Those are the things I would like to see. But, you know, I guess they had time constraints and whatnot. But guys, yeah, I enjoyed the after show, but I really didn't like how, I mean, it's the Tyler Perry show, but I loved how, yeah, it did feel like sometimes he would cut people off, but more often than not, his zingers, like his cutaways where he would like say something in the middle of the story were funny as hell. But most of the time it just felt like you really can't speak up for yourself, because if you do, then you're going to be like, well, yeah, this is my show. He didn't say it, but you can kind of tell that's the vibe he gets. But I mean, when your own cast can't really speak up about what they want for their character without being, you know, slapped down for it, then hell, I don't know what else to say. But I respect the man, he's talented, gives people opportunities, but I just wish he would give the actors / characters some more. But like I said, I will try to find a way to rewatch the after show. If I rewatch it and then it's like, oh, well, I missed talking about this, or I'll probably do another video. But for now, I just felt like a bit disappointed just by how Tyler Perry handled, you know, the cast and what they wanted for their characters, because that's really messed up. That's like, I don't know, you're at a job and there's like a person who hands out the lunches. I don't know, maybe it's like a janitor or somebody like that, and it's like, well, hey, Mr. Boss Man, I don't mean to complain, but every time I go to the bathroom, the toilets aren't cleaned all the way. It's like, you know, they're still a little dirty and whatnot. Well, you know, are you saying the janitor isn't doing the best job possible? Well, no offense, but yeah, I feel like there's something more that can be done so I can feel more secure going to using those toilets. Well, you're going to call somebody a job. You're going to get somebody fired. Well, no, I just want to, hey, do you want clean toilets? Never mind. That's what it kind of feels like. It's like you're putting somebody losing their job on me just because I want my character to kind of have better than what they have. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you honestly feel like I spoke my piece here, kind of like the cast did? Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with what I said? Did you interpret this show in another way? I mean, and I don't really have much to say about the single sisters dating thing where Tyler kind of got his people to hook up the cast with people. I will say this, even though Ebony's character of Karen kind of got robbed this season, it feels like she won when it came to that guy she was paired up with. I mean, I don't know. That was pretty. I might do a separate video on that because number one, I don't feel like talking anymore. But number two, people are like, "Wait, is KJ single?" I thought she. Again, this was probably pre-recorded, and I think this was during the time when her and Sky were kind of their relationship was secret, you know. So probably not a lot of people knew about it. I know Novi isn't single apparently. That's why, you know, she was like, "Oh, a date." Not for you, Novi. And I'm like, okay, that was cute. Pouty Novi is my favorite Novi. And I said this about Sabrina too. Whenever she gets pouty, it's adorable. But I think Ebony was definitely the one who had the best man. I mean, what did Tyler say? Oh yeah, he's in shape. He has a Nigerian last name and he's good at foot rubs. And Ebony was like, ooh. And I'm like, yeah, that reminds me of what Aaron does to Karen. But that was a cute scene. I love that when she rushed off stage. If that was me and Crystal Lee Naomi was on stage and I like, Tyler, thanks for everything. We about to bounce. We got to go. So I love that. That was pretty fun. But I think that's it in a nutshell, to be honest. You had to let's talk about sex, the dating thing, and the promo for season 4. Yeah. That's it. All right, guys. Well, let me know your thoughts on the after show in the comments section below. If I am able to find it online, I will share a link, but I doubt it because I still couldn't even find the first one. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I will catch you all in the next one.